Hi, I'm Will Howard, and I am standing in front of the oldest shopping center on the Eastern Shore. It's called Talbot County Shopping Center, and it's in Easton, Maryland, and it was put up by James Rouse back in the 50s. I remember coming here to the first grand opening. It was very exciting, had a helicopter, had all kinds of attractions, and a shopping center to Easton was fabulous. And today we're here to talk to Hugh Grundon, President and CEO of Easton Utilities, about a new addition that he's made to this shopping center. Now, I remember very well Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I was very excited to hear him on the telephone and just imagine that he was listening to me. Now, I knew he was just a statue, but it was so exciting to do. Hugh, whose idea was to bring Rudolph back?
Well, Easton Utilities, as we enter our centennial year in 2014, we were planning some events to celebrate that success, and it occurred to us, and so we started looking at all the
This sounds like your idea to me.
Well, he made a dramatic impression upon me as a child, much like you've described. I knew that when I got a chance to talk to Rudolph and see Santa dropped off on the fire truck next to the big tree that used to be here.
Oh, I remember that.
That heralded the beginning of the Christmas season. And I came and talked to Rudolph on various occasions. Never occurred to me he was saying the same thing, never
over and over
again.
And there was a line.
There was, and I would look wistfully at that line that went from Rudolph down to the phone booth, and maybe subconsciously that's how I got in the utility business.
Well, that's funny. Tell me the story of when did this come up and how much discussion. Obviously, it's taken months and months and months.
It has, and again, we were reminded of the rich traditions Easton's built, and this is one of the traditions that got away. We don't know why. We're not quite sure when. Originally in 1957, the first Rudolph was put in place, and he ran through the early 70s, the best we can tell. And it was really supported and done by Easton Utilities at that time. But then there's a lapse, and for over 30 years, he hasn't visited with us. So again, hearkening back to traditions, we thought this would be a great present to the community.
Okay,
we could do this.
So when August or June, or when did you start?
We've been working on, the project's been a better part of the year. Interestingly enough, though, his body is computer generated, and so we went through a design process and designed.
Now, how did you find a picture of him?
In an old article we found, and he was sitting on the corner of what is now Piazza. And to get scale, we had no idea really how big he was. So to gain scale, we measured the siding and then laid it down next to the picture and made some reasoned judgments that he's about 14 feet tall.
Now, in the picture, it says 5 cents to $1. The store that he was sitting on. Do you remember what that?
Oh yes, that was Eagles, I believe.
Eagles, okay.
I believe that was it. It was the 5 and dime store.
So between Eagles and Hess Apparel.
Yeah, well, he was actually on the corner.
Okay.
And the phone booth was across the street with what is now Baird and used to be Girardi's furniture store.
That's right. That's right. All right. So the process started off, and so you had to figure out how big it was based on the photograph.
We did, and
of the Eagle store.
That's right. That's exactly right. So once we had an idea of scale, we found a company in Atlanta that does characters for theme parks, and began a dialogue and a design process with them. They did several iterations. The first one they sent back, I think, looked like Deputy Dog, and we said that's not going to work. So we finally settled on a design. There was a clay model generated that was approved, and then
so that had to be like in June, then, right?
Yes, yeah. But actually, a little bit later than that. It was only about a 3-month from the time we actually started design to having Rudolph arrive.
Well, that's so cool. So the person that came up with this idea in '57, tell me about who that was.
George Taylor, and he not only was the superintendent of distribution, electric distribution for Easton Utilities, but also was a part-time superintendent for the newly constructed Talbot County Shopping Center.
So he had a mind much like yours and decided to have this thing.
Indeed. Well, George did it right. Not only was there a Rudolph, but there was a very large tree in the middle of the parking lot.
I remember.
That was decorated. The facade was decorated. I think he left no surface untouched.
Okay, so we're at the North Pole, Easton, Maryland.
We are indeed.
Okay, now that's a cool. So you had a photograph of the phone booth too.
We did, and we have a lot of folks working with us that have a clear recollection of what the phone booth looked like. We went on to Craigslist and found that booth. It was somewhat in disrepair, and we brought it into our shop, and a lot of people have had contact with that phone booth. Our auto mechanic shop with David Allen, they painted it. Our controller, Tracy Thomas, said, wait, before you paint, you need glitter in. And we put safety glass in. Denny Clow and his electrical crew went through and rewired the entirety of the booth, including the LED marquee in the front. And Scott Sears with our information technology group worked with the recording devices.
And Bill, he's got his fingerprints on it too.
Bill Russell
yes.
was the project manager.
Oh, okay.
And he oversaw the entirety of the project. He found the vendor to create Rudolph, and he's been working tirelessly to get all the crew together. Everybody in the company has really just embraced the idea of doing this project.
Oh, I think it's very exciting. So how many employees do you have, and they're all excited about this, right?
They are. We have 130 employees. And in the utility business, there's not a lot of excitement. We like it that way. But we've stepped out of our comfort zone, and I think it will inure to the benefit of the community.
Well, let's see if Rudolph wants to talk to us.
Very good.
Hey, this is pretty cool.
Well, Will, as I said, we completely, in our shop and through our people, rehab the phone booth. But I think when you step inside, you'll recognize
it's a 50s phone.
It is. It is indeed.
Okay, we're going to talk to Rudolph. Oh, it's got a coin. Did you see if there's any dimes or quarters?
Well, we hope there will be at the end. But no, it's a non-pay event. But if you push 1, you get the Rudolph greeting and conversation in English, and 2's in Spanish.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Hello, this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, what do you want for Christmas this year? Okay, great. I'll tell Santa.
Hola, me llamo Rudolfo, el reno de nariz roja. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Qué es lo que quieres de Navidad este año?
We have some of our folks from Easton Utilities making some last-minute preparations for the phone booth and for Rudolph's introduction. Tracy Thomas, Lonnie Larimore, David Allen, and Jeff Starkey.
Well, terrific. You guys have done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And besides keeping our electric on in all of our homes, you've now added something for the kids. Now, Tracy, you've been very involved in that. Can you talk to me? What has been your job with all this?
I've been working on the decorations for the phone booth and the trees, and our recently added fencing and garland.
Well, it's terrific.
Thanks.
And what are the hours it's going to be open?
We're going to be open from 10 to 9, Monday through Saturday, and then 10 to 6, I believe, on Sundays.
It's been a really fun project. We've all enjoyed it.
Yep. Well, what have you specifically been doing, besides what I've seen here? Did you help put it up yesterday?
Sure did, yes. Yes, we did.
Was that tricky?
Not at all. Lonnie did a lot of planning. It was well planned out, and it went smooth.
So were you in the bucket truck?
I was not in the bucket truck. I was up on the roof, helped bolt him down.
How much does he weigh?
Over 300,
yes.
Just over 300 pounds.
300 pounds?
Yeah.
So he's going to be there. So if a good wind comes along, he's not going to fly off.
They've engineered it with the guy wires and the weights we have up there to withstand like a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Sure did.
And Jeff? What have you been doing?
We've just about everybody has their name on that phone booth. The line gang has worked on the roof. Lonnie's worked on it. Dave and I, we've done the interior. Had part of the sign done. The electric guys have worked.
It looks like something right out of Disney World. Yeah. It really does. It really does.
One of the guys that's not here is Denny Clow. He's done a lot of wiring, rewiring, and electronics, and he's done a lot of work too.
Has this been a lot of fun for you?
It's been a ball. It's been a great.
Well, it's a wonderful contribution, a wonderful gift to Talbot County and the Eastern Shore. You'll have people coming here from everywhere.
I hope so. I hope so. And we were amazed when we were putting him up last night. The traffic, just people stopping by and saying, "Hey, thank you so much. I remember him." It's just been fun. And these guys, the employees of the utility, has been incredible. They just had so much fun. It's a break from the day-to-day operations that we do. Keeping utilities going, and they just had a ball with this stuff. And God bless them. They've been working after hours and on their own time, coming in on Saturdays, painting, and everybody's really gotten into it.
Well, thank you, and thank all the employees at Easton Utilities for doing this. It'll be now a new tradition that'll last for many, many years.
I hope so. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sing on, shiny saw it, you would even say it goes. All of the other reindeer used to like to call him names. They never let poor Rudolph joining in reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you ride my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they started out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you go down in history.